check-in list, and now you're here. I'm just going to ask you a couple really quick questions. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me, and we're just going to make sure that your car is fit for you, that it's perfectly for that you can see each and every spot, that you can reach everything, and that this car is best set for you as you drive. Okay. The first question I have to ask is: are you the only driver of this car? Is your husband or grandkids or anybody like drive this car very often?
My husband.
Sometimes as well. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we'll have to talk about some of the things that we can adjust for him as well as we go through, okay? Do you usually wear your seatbelt?
I do.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay, I see that you don't have it on now, but that's just because we got you to park, so that's perfectly fine. We got you in the coolness here. So that's awesome. Now, when you put your seatbelt on, where does it usually go over your shoulder? If you had to put, so right over the corner of your shoulder? We can do it real quick, that's fine. Okay, so that feels comfortable there. Just know that as your husband gets in or whoever gets in, we can usually press this button right here and move this up and down to adjust as well. Okay, so and then right across the waist strap there, does it ever feel discomfort, feel tight? Do you ever have any problems with that? Okay, one thing that we can possibly change here is that we can pull this down some and allow the waist strap to go a little lower as well. Okay, if for comfort reasons, and just in case of a crash, is pulling at the hip and not the mid belly. We definitely don't want it having any discomfort across the mid abdomen there. So we just lower that a little bit. Okay, and then so the next question is, this typically how you drive as far as the steering wheel being about this far from your chest and things like that, or is it? Okay, cool. So does your car have one of the settings where when you drive it has a preset? Yeah, so every time you get in your car, the seat's the same.
All right.
Right, okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple really quick measurements here, just to measure the distance between the steering wheel and your chest, and then also measure your eye level over the steering wheel, okay? That'll take just a quick few seconds. And what we want here is, we want at least 10 inches, which no issue here, because it's 12.5 inches there. And then from the steering wheel to your chest, we want at least 10 inches. Just in case of something like an accident were to happen, the airbag deploys, it gives that plenty of time for the airbag to fully expand before you're already open, okay? All right, so for the next thing, do you mind putting your hands on the wheel like you typically would, okay? And just look as if you were looking down the road there, okay? And then I am just gonna take a measurement. Perfect. Very good in that. So what we want to see is at least for most people, at least 3.5 to 4 inches of eye level above the steering wheel. And you were sitting at about 5.5 or so. So no problem there. Do you ever have any problems looking out the road or seeing the road or anything like that? No. Awesome. Okay. So with it being that high though, are you able to clearly see each part of the speedometer here? Okay. So you never have the top of the perfect. All right, good deal. I'll write these numbers down for just a second. And then, do you ever have to adjust your head rest? You see that you got the cover on the rest now, so that pretty much worked for you. Okay, the goal is, and it looks like you're fine, but just if you ever want to look at it in your husband, we want at least about 2.5 inches away from your head in the steering wheel or in the headrest there. You're looking about right. You got pretty poofy hair, so that works well. So just so that in the case of, we don't always want it resting on our headrest, but in the case of something that the rest is in reach, we're not having a hyperextender or negative back before it hits. Otherwise, that can cause whiplash. So we're good there. That looks very well. And then we actually get to skip a spot because the distance between your chest and the steering wheel is really well, so we don't have to adjust that at all. Your line of sight is really well. What about the gas pedal? Are you able to fully compress the brake and the gas pedal, not just using your toe, but your entire foot?
Right.
Okay, so you can reach it. Does your car allow for adjustable pedals? But as long as you're able to fully reach it, then your seat position is usually pretty good. Okay. this thing. Okay, so as far as mirror adjustments, can you very quickly show me how to adjust your mirror? Do you know? I can help you with that. Can you move it for me just for a second? Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to stand at the back of each side of your car, and I want you to tell me if you can see it. Okay? I'm going to be giving you a number, and I want you to tell me the number. Okay? All right. You see this?
4.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to stand at this side.
4.
Yeah. Very good. Awesome. All right. So mirror adjustments look good. What about the rear view mirror there? Can you see clearly through the back? And as I cross over, was you able to see me? Perfect. All right. So we're going to do the same thing, but instead of using your mirror, I want you to look over your shoulder and make sure that you're able, because you know it's always important for us to look through our mirrors, but also to have that quick head check as well. So I'll stand on the back side here, in the middle there, and we're just going to do a quick little neck check, and let me do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to be holding up the number just like before, this way. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Yep. All right. Same thing in the back.
3.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Any pain in the neck, moving it back and forward, anything like that? Feel pretty normal. What about your husband? Does he ever have any issues checking to your knowledge? Okay. Awesome. Well, you obviously know how to turn your car on, so we won't go over to the ignition portion of this. So that's great. But do you have a manual key, or is it a fob? Okay. So it's push start. You know how to make that very well. Okay. And then a couple of little quick things before we get through here is, are you able to turn your left and right signal on? Can you please click those for me? Okay, can I see the other one? Perfect. Okay. And then what about your headlights? Are you able to show me how to turn them in and okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's okay. It's in the eye. It's fine.
I turned the wipers out.
Well, that was the next question. So you got that figured out. You can taste it. I know for a fact. Can you show me where your flashers are in your vehicle? Like the emergency flashers?
Right here.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right. We can turn them back off for you. Good deal. Headlights, flashers are working, windshield's working. Can you show me your parking brake? Are you aware of where it's at and how to turn it on?
Right
You
here.
have another flash one. Yep.
Right here.
Okay, so while we're in park, could you briefly show me how to use it? Because these can be complicated. Okay, that's what we're here for. Just pull it up. Okay, so you'll see it, parking brake is set,
Okay.
and then you'll push it down.
Okay.
So you have to put your foot on the brake. There we go.
Okay.
See, we learned something today. All right. And then the next thing is, can you turn your steering wheel for me as far as you can left? No issues with shoulder or anything like that. And we're going to do the same thing the right way. Perfect. All right. Last little thing. Can you beat the horn for me? There we go. All right. And your car looks clean. So there's a section of this that we go over that's like any dents, any dings, any scratches and things like that. But looks like your car is taken pretty well care of, so we don't really need to cover any of that. Are there any questions?